Ugh. No, I can't. Mario, I can't watch. Oh, God, no. Who the heck is ringing the door at this time of night?
That's why I don't like to watch movies with you. You talk the whole entire time.
Someone out here? Who the fuck would just come knock on my door at this hour? That's strange. What in the blue hell is a Nintendo game doing out here? Oh man, don't tell me. This is the Halloween special. Mario, can you believe that somebody left a copy of Gremlins 2 at my doorstep on Halloween night? Now granted, I was watching scary movies by myself, actually with a talking plush doll, no offense, but this is a little strange. Something tells me that this is a hint that I need to review something since it's been a while.
Nah. Da.
You know, Mario, this is why I love you. I love your smarmy attitude. I like the cut of your jib. So you know what? We're gonna go ahead and review Gremlins 2, the new batch for the Nintendo Entertainment System. What say you, Mario?
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get this review started. Gremlins 2, the new batch for the Nintendo Entertainment System. In this game, you control the cute, lovable little furball Gizmo and his journey to defeat all the evil gremlins in Clamp Tower, the setting of the movie. Thank you, Captain Obvious. The first level takes place in the halls of Clamp Tower, and the enemies you see are rats, bats, spiders, and tomatoes. Tomatoes? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes versus the Gremlins? I don't know. Seems a little wacko, but it's an NES game, and that's what makes the charm of it. You can't have a movie licensed Nintendo game and have stuff that makes sense. Just shut up and enjoy it. This is a great game. Now, obstacles in the stage are spiked floors, pits, moving platforms, which could be a pain in the ass. So my advice to you is if you have a jump to make, jump a split second earlier, because these could be a little bit tricky. Tricky ass platforms in these games. What makes it hard is that it's an over the top view, like Legend of Zelda, except it's a platformer, so it's kind of hard to judge, or at least for me, in my experience. But there is one saving grace, and that's the balloons that you have. If you have balloons in your inventory, you're able to float up, and you can actually skip all the obstacles. What I like to do is on the hard parts of the stage, I fall into a hole, and I just float right over everything and skip it. Yeah, it's kind of cheating, but I like to call it using your resources. Now, Gizmo's mode of self-defense is these little black pearl orb things that he shoots out at everything, and you can upgrade it. When you go to the shop and you select the weapon upgrade, you can get all sorts of cool stuff. However, if you die, the upgrade goes away, sadly, and that's expected in these games. That's why there's a challenge. However, it could become pretty powerful if you charge these up enough, and you're going to need it for the Gremlin boss fight. Now, speaking of the shops, you could choose from extra lives, extra health, more balloons, or weapon upgrades. The weapon upgrades are a must-have, but I like to get balloons so I could do the balloon trick. Why does that sound perverted? Anyways, on to the next level. Now, the next level is in the air vents. After the gremlins trap you in there, you're stuck, and it's even more hell than the first level. The first level is a piece of cake. Level 2? You got spike balls to worry about, bombs, and all sorts of things that are a pain in the ass. And it's also very easy to get lost. There's lots of dead ends. And there's all sorts of enemies too. There's helicopter gremlins, fire spitting gremlins, jumping gremlins, skateboarding gremlins. Too bad you can't play as a skateboarding gremlin and skate or die. That would probably make that game a lot more memorable. Now, my best advice is, if you don't have to kill it, avoid it. There's plenty of enemies in this stage, and you don't have to kill them, unless you want to get currency. But you should be able to make it through okay. That's what I did. If I don't have to fight them, which some of these gremlins can be pretty powerful, I'm not gonna do it. That's just me. I do what I want. 8-bit Eric style. Hop, 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 hop. 8-bit Eric style. Hop, 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 hop. 8-bit Eric style. Hop, 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 hop. Level 2-3 is a boss fight. And once you die, you do have to start all the way at level 2-2. Ugh. 2-2. That doesn't sound right. Toot toot! Toot toot! God. Why do I even try? I can just see the troll comments below. God. Now level 3 takes place inside the TV station of the tower. And there's weird gremlin arms that are coming out through the floor. So you gotta avoid those, obviously. They're easily killed, however, they're a real pain in the butt. Of course, there's more platforms to jump, spike balls, and all sorts of other crap. Eventually, you keep making your way through the offices of Clamp Tower, avoiding all the same old obstacles, just a little bit more trickier. Luckily, if you suck like I do, watch the puns, Mario. There is a password feature to continue. You can get on any stage you want, and you can try your luck on the later stages, which are even more insane. If you thought bottomless pits were a pain in the butt, you have conveyor belts, lava pools, spikes, all sorts of gremlins that just want to kill Gizmo, because I think Gizmo is caca, and it's just classic NES challenges. Now, enough of talking about this game like it's a walkthrough. Bottom line, you guys want to know what I think about it. Gremlins 2, the new batch on the NES, underrated game, in my opinion. The soundtrack, first of all, is badass. Now, you've been listening to the soundtrack this whole video, hopefully if you haven't fallen asleep yet, or clicked out. Also, the gameplay is very solid, Gizmo is easy to control, you know, that's expected in a game like this. I have no complaints about this game, the challenge is there, and the weapon upgrades and options and all sorts of items are also there. So it's a very solid, complete game. So if you would like to get your hands on a game based on a movie that doesn't suck and is actually quite surprisingly good, then I highly recommend Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2, the new batch, it's a classic NES title. Now I know I say that a lot, but this right here is one of the best gems and underrated classics on the NES. Sure, it's difficult, sure it's hard, but that's what gives it its charm. It's based off of a great movie franchise, and it's a good licensed movie video game. How rare is that? I mean, think of the worst ones. Jaws, Karate Kid, even though I like it. Goonies isn't bad. But Gremlins 2, it's on a level of its own. It's one of Sunsoft's best, alongside Blaster Master. So if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. It's a classic. Pick it up. Now, that's it for the Halloween special. What, Mario?
If I remember, we still have a movie to finish. Now don't be a scaredy cat. We got to finish the thinking movie.
I'm not finishing that stupid movie. It's time to go to bed, alright? I'm gonna have nightmares if we watch the rest of it.
Don't wanna listen to me, do you? Well, that's it. Take this. Wha!
Mario, you got the game wet. No. Ah!